Well, looks like we're going to Iran. This has been a long time coming as well. Don't know if anyone remembers the Zeitgeist movies from way back in the day, but Iran has been on the cards for quite some time. But anyway, let's get into the article. Trump approves Iran attack plan, but has not made final decision. Reports say. Donald Trump has approved plans to attack Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether to strike the country, the BBC's US partner CBS reports. But before we get into the article, the news sucks these days, doesn't it? And while I do my best to give you the best view of what's going on that I can only do so much to counteract the sheer amount of spin, partisan propaganda, and outright slop that is blasted all over our feeds. Now, I know you've already heard about Ground News and what they do. They were recognised by the Nobel Peace Centre for an excellent way to stay informed and also to avoid echo chambers. Most importantly, it shows me all of the different perspectives, partisan propensities, and paymasters of the outlets fighting for your attention. Because fight they do, and their goal is to show you their version of the truth. For instance, this story about the US and UK signing a trade agreement that Trump calls fair for both nations. This story has over 230 sources covering it. Now, if you've only read certain sources, then you might have started to think that this is great and this is a good deal like what GB News is saying right here. Or you've probably read sources that were critical of Starmer and how he stoops to pick up papers that were dropped by Trump. Most likely, though, you missed the part where negotiations about steel have not yet been resolved. Whatever may be the case, Ground News aggregates all of the news sources, over 50,000 of them in one spot, and lets you see the full picture of each story without getting sucked into an agenda. So, if you're like me and you want to be well informed without dancing to the flute of someone else, then subscribe to Ground News and get a 40% discount to their Vantage plan in order to get unlimited access to all of their features. You can use my link down below, ground.news/count, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to get the discount that's only available through my link. And make sure that you do it soon though, because it won't last very long and then you'll miss out on all of these stories. The US president held off from initiating strikes in case Iran agreed to abandon its nuclear program, a senior intelligence source told CBS. Trump is reportedly considering a US strike on Fordo, an underground uranium enrichment facility in Iran. So basically, Iran has weapons of mass destruction. No, but they really do this time, guys. Right? It's a case of see if they go in there and they find nothing yet again. You know, fool me once, etc., etc. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Wednesday rejected Trump's demand for unconditional surrender, as the US president said his patience had run out. On Wednesday, Trump said, "I may do it, I may not do it," when asked a question about US involvement in Iran. Remember, this is the anti-war president. No new wars have been started under Trump. That was his big thing. That was one of the main things that got him elected. He was more of a peacemaker than a fucking shitty war hawk like you get all over fucking American government. However, in this case, it's different. Because our greatest allies involved. But anyway, Khamenei, thanks Adblock Plus. Thank you. Arsehole. Anyway, Trump brushed off the rejection, saying good luck, but again declined to disclose his plans. Oh, no, in fact, I missed a bit. Khamenei rebuked Trump in Wednesday's recorded speech, saying that any US military intervention would be costly and added the Iranian nation will not surrender. Trump brushed off the rejection, saying good luck, but again declined to disclose his plans. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do, he said. Imagine he just nuked them. Alright, you want nukes? You want nukes? You can have some. Here, have some of ours. Unconditional surrender, that means I've had it. I'm going to go into all of this at the end. The news of Trump backing strike plans was first reported by the Wall Street Journal. Israel's military launched more attacks in Iran, hitting missile sites and nuclear facilities. Iran said it had fired hypersonic missiles in response. No serious damage was reported in Israel. There's like 20 odd dead civilians. Like, that's kind of heartless. But anyway, it was Khamenei's first appearance since Israel launched what it described as preemptive strikes on Friday. Iran's mission to the United Nations mocked Trump and posts on X: Iran does not negotiate under duress, shall not accept peace under duress, and certainly not with a has-been warmonger clinging to relevance. I mean, Trump got in a democratic election, and Khamenei's just there because he's a despot. But anyway, I'm not getting involved. This is going to be another one of those things that I just do not make content on. But anyway, no Iranian official has ever asked to grovel at the gates of the White House, it added. The only thing more despicable than his lies is his cowardly threat to take out Iran's supreme leader. Oh, is this where you're going to get all the leftists siding with Iran now? Iran's based, actually, for, like, throwing women in jail for 20 years for refusing to wear a burqa. Yeah. Great country, great place. But then again, is it? Maybe it's propaganda. Who knows? The war of words came as Iranians continue to jam roads out of the capital of Tehran, a city of 10 million people seeking sanctuary from Israeli attacks. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, said in a video on Wednesday that his country's forces were progressing step by step towards eliminating threats posed by Iran's nuclear sites and ballistic missile arsenal. We control the skies over Tehran. We are striking with tremendous force at the regime of the Ayatollahs. We are hitting the nuclear sites, the missiles, the headquarters, the symbols of the regime, he said. Pete Hegseth, Trump's defense secretary, told the Senate committee that the Pentagon was prepared to execute any order given by Trump. Oh, yeah. We're totally ready. We're totally ready to go with Iran. This is it, boys. The deep state has been dying for this for ages. Right, they've been dying. Like, maybe that's why Trump got back in. Trump went, okay, if you don't cheat this time, we can do Iran. Maybe that's why. Okay, I'll do it. That's what's happened here. That's what's happened. You have to give the deep state something, otherwise you're not allowed to hold any position of power. His comments came amid a build-up of American forces in the Middle East. A carrier strike group led by the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier was steaming from Southeast Asia to join another strike group led by the USS Carl Vinson, already in the Gulf. Various air assets, including refueling tankers, were also seen on flight trackers moving from Europe, with reports of F-22 and F-33 strike aircraft following. The US State Department said Secretary of State Marco Rubio would meet UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy in Washington, D.C. on Thursday, for talks expected to focus on Iran. The BBC understands that so far, the US has not made a formal request to use the UK's military bases in Diego Garcia or Cyprus to conduct strikes against Iran. Normally, the US would first inform its ally if it intended to conduct offensive operations from those bases. A British source said it was believed all options were on the table in Washington, but there was no complete picture of America's intent. Oh, did we get left in the dark? Keir, he's a loser. Don't tell him. He probably knows the Ayatollah. The Ayatollah voted for him. Yeah, he voted for him. The US Embassy in Jerusalem on Wednesday issued an evacuation plan for American citizens currently in Israel. It was unclear how many Americans were seeking to leave Israel or whether the US military would assist with the evacuation flights. Since it launched its attack on Friday, Israel strikes in Iran have killed 585 people, according to Washington, D.C. based human rights group Human Rights Activists, which said that 239 were civilians and 126 were security personnel. In retaliation, Iran has fired around 400 missiles at Israel, killing 24 people, all of them civilians, according to Israeli authorities. Meanwhile, Iranian state TV warned viewers to ignore an irrelevant clip calling for the public to rise up against the regime after an apparent hack of its satellite feed. Yeah, there's a proper big cyber war going on. There was an Iranian crypto exchange just had all of its funds drained as well. And basically both sides are now hacking each other. Now this is the problem: is Israeli hackers, Iranian hackers, they're both really fucking good. They're both like really, really good at getting each other. And so that part of the war is going to be impressive. Like the cyber warfare part. What was that movie I seen recently? It had Ethan Hawke and all that in it, and it was talking about what would happen if there was a full-scale invasion, and it really covers the cyber war aspect of an invasion of America. and it's really, really clever. Like, they hack all the Teslas and basically make them all self-drive to gather at choke points on the motorway, on the, what do you call it again, the freeway or whatever, to block all the turnoffs and all the exits to basically limit the movement of the American army within America. It was clever shit like that. It was just, so basically the cyber war part of things is very interesting. Look, I'll admit, nobody likes the Mossad or Israel, nobody likes the CIA, nobody likes the FBI, nobody likes MI6, right? We all hate them. They're literal feds, right? However, spy shit's cool. Like, I'm sorry, but spy shit's really, really fucking cool. So that's why I fucking hate these guys. But some of the shit they do is awesome. Right, but anyway. Hackers apparently broke in and broadcast a video that accused the Iranian establishment of failing its own people, calling on viewers to take control of your future. It featured several clips of mass protests against the regime in 2022. And that there is the end of the article. Now, basically, Iran is a terrible, horrible place that has a despotic leader and everybody gets jailed for like 20 odd years and they cut people's hands off and blah, blah, blah. And maybe that does happen. However, my source for that information is Western media. So maybe it does happen. And if it does happen, then that stuff's terrible. And I hate that. However, propaganda is a thing, especially against a now military enemy that we are probably going to be going to war against. Right? That's the problem. And yeah, maybe a bunch of Iranians are sick and fed up of the current regime in Iran, and they want rid of it. They want rid of the regime, which is why they do this. The thing that they do, the thing the communists do, funnily enough, is where they grow fear and they grow resentment and they grow hatred in a huge portion of the population. And then one day they go, "Arise, my comrades," and then everybody rises up. That's a thing that could happen. It's currently happening to the right now. Trust me, that one's going to backfire. Right, but basically, is that the case of what they're doing? Are the Iranian people actually very upset and actually hate the regime? I don't know, because again, I was told it by Western media. Right, so the point is, in this, when a war is coming, no one's telling the truth. No one's telling the truth. Everything's propaganda. Right, so suck it up, Buttercup. I don't know what's going on, and you don't, and you'll probably never know until 30 years down the line when it appears on the Discovery Channel. The truth about what actually, yeah, that's when you find out the truth of what actually happened. We're still finding out shit about World War II. Like, nearly 100 years bloody later, we are just finding out stuff about World War II that they have kept under wraps for all that time. No, not that thing. I was talking about other stuff, but also that thing. But basically, the one thing that I can say with absolute clarity is I fucking hate war. I fucking hate war hawks. I hate, yeah, Iran, fucking Lindsey Graham, like fucking foaming at the mouth, right? Fuck you, go sign up yourself if you want to go over there. Yeah, we should totally go into Iran. Cool, sign up. Sign up. If you're pro-war and anything you do could actually cause a war, then you have to sign up. I want that rule brought in. Anyone that votes for a war also has to sign up, and all their children have to sign up for the war as well. Right, stop just sending a bunch of people that you don't know because those people are sons, brothers, fathers, etc., etc., and you're like, I don't know them, who fucking cares? Right, this is the problem with not having government at a local level. Right, but basically, I am not pro-war with Iran. I'm not pro-war at all with any country. This is why I don't cover Israel-Palestine, it's why I don't cover Russia-Ukraine, and it's why I'm not going to cover Israel and Iran, or Israel and America and Britain, and because, our greatest ally, and all that. Right, I'm not going to cover it. Unless there is a major monumental happening that, I can't not cover. Again, same rules apply. I'm not going to cover this conflict.